As a studio partner and owner, I've won several awards for the studio, winning Grammys, but one moment that was special to me was my Grammy nomination with Chris Brown and Usher. And it wasn't just me. I was a tiny part of it, but also managing Carly Simon was like my master's degree, and seeing everybody say, "Why you helping him to Killer Mike? He's old." And me say, "I don't care. I'm gonna give him and Will studio time and not even look back." So from Mike to David Banner to whoever else, Roscoe Dash, shout out to Roscoe. There's a lot of people that I've helped, and I know it was because God put it in my heart too. My accolades and my awards, for me, I'm Emmy winning, the Grammy nomination. I really love the fact that people love to eat my food and be around me and know that if they got a real problem, that they can call me. That to me is bigger than any award you could get from any man. What you're seeing from me in my artistry is what I've gone through, what my husband has gone through. He gives me knowledge and wisdom on how to move. And so I think some of the most important things that have helped me in this stage, because I'm already Grammy nominated. I'm famous to famous people. That's what everybody says. But nobody regular really knows me like that at this point. And so for me at this point, it's a humble space where I have to be in, where I have to know that, okay, every little step that I take is helping you towards where you want to do. And what we want to do, we pray before every session, is share these songs that God gave us and share my journey. So what's helped me is all the years of me pouring into having conversations with Big Sean, having conversations with Fantasia, having conversations with Whitney and Angie Stone, and seeing how they got screwed over in certain business aspects. Well, okay, well, that's not going to be me. And how do I combat that? But then also, you know, it's times where people are like, man, he was the a-hole. I seen him and da-da-da. So there's times where I don't feel like talking. I don't put myself in a position to be out. You know what I mean? So there's just so many things that I've learned along the way that are helping me right now to enjoy the moment, because most artists, they're so far into, man, when this happens, then I'm going to be happy. And then when this happens, then I'm going to do this. And then this happens. But you have to be okay right now, today. You can't figure out what I did in the past. You'll get through that karma. I've had karma that I had to get through. Where are you today? And I think the biggest thing I've learned is to enjoy the moments, because every friend of mine who made it, now they're like, you can't take fame back. I wish I could just go drive down the street by myself. Everyone who made it where they have all this worldwide attention, they are in a place where they wish they would have enjoyed the journey more. They wish they would have took it one day at a time. I think the message, if there was only one message I would give to everybody, for me, you know, I used to say, however you get to God, however you get there, whatever your thing is. But if you're looking at my journey to see how I'm doing it, I'm not doing it. Now I'm working hard. I'm keeping my voice up. I'm doing the interviews, meeting with great people like 24/7, 24/7. But it's really God that's doing it for me. I had to give it all up. And so for me, I would say, some people I know are like, how do I do that? I wasn't even born in a family that knew God. Just get the Bible app. I don't know. Only way I'm doing all the things I'm doing and have done what I did for all these people, from Killer Mike to, you know, when David Banner and Killer Mike didn't have budgets and they're sleeping in my studio, all that was from the heart of God that he gave me. I may not have been rolling like I am now with my husband, but I would just say give it to God and enjoy it. You don't even know if you're going to be here next week, tomorrow, whatever. We're not promised every day. Enjoy it. Do the best you can. Yeah, I mean, I've trained myself for many years. My dad had us in music school he got records of me at 3 years old, making my songs at 5. And so from Northwestern and Highland Park Theater and Carl Johansson, all the lessons that I've had over the years, the producers that poured into me, I've been able to be around Jermaine Dupri, Dallas Austin, Mike Will we just did 4 songs with Mike Will, Drummer Boy, some of the biggest artists and producers in the world. So for me, when you ask my process, I feel like I just like to get in where I fit in. So Eric and I will pray before every session, say, God, you give it to us. And this is me as a singer, not as a producer. Now I'm taking off my producer hat and letting my friends produce. And so what I do is just be like, what's your process? Oh, you want to bring somebody in? We don't need anybody to write with us. We're like Ashford and Simpson, but we're open. So if you let someone come into our session, we're going to pray with you and be like, okay, what you good at? You good at the melody? Okay, then we'll pull it up in the lyrics. You're good at lyrics too, so let's do it together. I think my gift is being adaptable to whatever situation. Okay, you only do beats and you know how to structure the song, then I'm going to structure it first and then I'm going to write to it. So, it just depends. I'm so lucky that I waited this long in my life, and I've had so many opportunities to know Pro Tools, know Logic, know Reason. I know so many different setups. Whatever producer I get with, a lot of times they want to be in there creating it with me, and we can write 3-4 songs in a day. And so it's me having to practice what I preach and just calm down and enjoy the moment. I have to shout out Mark Batson, because when my husband said to me, you helped everybody, you need to sing. I said, I wish I would sing for these ungratefuls. After everything I know, I'm going to sing. This is 4 years ago. And I said, if God gives me the desire, then I'll do it. Next day, Mark Batson calls my attorney, hey, I know that, it took her 2 years to do my deal with Clive, and I said I didn't want to do it for business. But all the signs, Mark Batson's like, I'm finishing Alicia Keys' Broadway show. As soon as I'm done with that, you need to come out here and do some Chicago blues. And that's what we did. So I think my husband pushing me and not being afraid to jump out on faith and just go was a gift too. Like I used to tell everybody, quit. How many songs can you listen to my music? I'm like, great. How many songs do you have? 5? 5, boy, stop. That's like I got a restaurant and I got 5 different meals and that's it. I ain't got nothing else for you to try. We've taken the last 3.5, almost 4 years to create music with some of the most incredible people in the world. So it's very different when you're hearing Mark Batson, who's like, I knew what to do with India Ari. He knew what to do with India. He knew what to do with Alicia, versus we sitting here with Mike Will and he's saying, this will be hard. So when you hear like her do a record with DJ Khaled and then you see her out with Josh Groban or doing Disney, it's not really anything you can expect other than every single song that Eric and I write together, it's real. It ain't anybody could sing it, but it's our story. It's filled with faith. It's filled with hope and a lot of love. That's what they can expect. It's so funny because, I do really think that we're not promised every day. And, I'm so morbid. Coming from Chicago, so much death and crime and things that I've seen. And, I've been even a part of some violent stuff. And you don't know if you're going to be here the next day. And I sometimes do think, if I'm not here tomorrow, I wonder if they would take these songs and if they would do any good in the world. And so for me, I would hope, you asked me earlier about gospel. I love Mahalia Jackson. I like the old school, but I also obviously love C.C. Peniston, some of the new gospel artists. Molly Music, I was able to share the stage with him for Angie Stone's tribute, my dear friend Angie, who passed away. I would just hope that they see somebody who didn't come from nothing. I came from the mud. And I didn't sell my body. I didn't sell my soul. It took a very long time. But don't be, like my friend Gary Vee says, do not be afraid of how old you are. They used to tell me at 21, hey, you need to sign these papers because you ain't getting any younger. And I'd be like, I ain't getting any dumber either. You know what I mean? And so for me, I feel like I hope that God uses me every day for somebody who think they're not good enough, or they've been arrested, or they've been in trouble, or they can't change their life, that you can change your life and you can be something. No matter, even if you're 40, you start from 40. You look at the people who started later. Samuel Jackson. There's so many different people who started later in their life, and they ended up, when you look at all of our old women, Ella Fitzgerald, Eartha Kitt, Billie Holiday, Dinah Washington, all these women. And when I go speak to Clark and Spellman, a lot of the girls don't even know who they are, and look them up if y'all don't. But we've had women who didn't just talk about sex and didn't just talk about F that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with all that, because if that's who you are and where you are, that's where you are. But for me and our house, we're going to talk about the shoulders that I stand on. I got to headline the Billie Holiday Theater in New York. That was God. It was a day after, the day before Angie passed away in her car accident, Angie Stone, and I was supposed to go on tour with her. We had just finished a press release on Thursday, and she said, Molly, I can't wait to sing with you. We're going to shine our lights together. And then she was killed in a car accident. And so the day before that, they called me to headline the Billie Holiday Theater. And one of the things I said was, as a woman of color, we had to go through the back alley with the rats in the water. We couldn't, even if it was an all-white crowd, we had to sing to segregated crowds. And so I stand on the shoulders of the women who came before me, and I refuse to let them be forgotten. And so a lot of my music and the heart that comes out of me comes from what I listen to, and that's who I listened to as a kid, you know. When you talk about legacy, I think about the 4 amazing children that God blessed me with, my bonus kids, and what Eric and I are now doing that they're seeing. And when you see someone doing something, not just our children, but our whole Earth Angel, Earth Girl community, everyone that knows who we are, the legacy is that you just don't stop. You know, do it scared. Keep going, you know, just do it. And really, I don't care about my legacy, me personally. I hope that God uses me and that it continues a legacy of, you know, someone who was looked at like they couldn't do it, and God did, you know. I mean, obviously, I've been a part of, here in Chicago was Clio Winning Studios. And as I travel the world, we work with several Grammy-winning artists. And so as a studio partner and owner, I've won several awards for the studio winning Grammys. But one moment that was special to me was my Grammy nomination with Chris Brown and Usher. And it wasn't just me. I was a tiny part of it. But having someone on my team, Count Justice, shout out to Jess, and everybody who was a part of it, I'm grateful to be a part of something. And so that was awesome, you know. That was great. But also managing Carly Simon was like my master's degree. And, you know, I haven't been one who cares about an award from a human being. My award has come from seeing everybody say, why you helping him to kill a Mike? He's old. And me say, I don't care. I'm going to give him and Will studio time and not even look back. Like, I ain't the type of person who adds up what I do for you. So from Mike to David Banner to whoever else, Roscoe Dash, shout out to Roscoe. There's a lot of people that I've helped, and I know it was because God put it in my heart too. And so my accolades and my awards for me, I'm Emmy winning, the Grammy nomination. I really love the fact that people love to eat my food and be around me and know that if they got a real problem, that they can call me. That to me is bigger than any award you could get from any man. I'll take my glasses off for this one. I didn't get to wear makeup as a youngster. It was forbidden in our home, and I was so upset about it. But as I got older, I didn't have the money for it, to be honest. You know, even my hair, everyone's like, well, my hair's so big, it was because I didn't have nobody, I couldn't afford to press it out. But I didn't wear makeup for a very long time, and I realized that people that I knew were struggling financially and couldn't get a car, but they're spending all this money on hair and makeup and these things. And I look back and I realized that I didn't fill my pores with a lot of, and no, like, shout out to L'Oreal for supporting our Earth Girls and all the things that they're doing, but there's a lot of makeup, especially for brown women, that's bad for you. And it goes, anything that goes into your pores, your skin, your kidneys have to figure it out. So drinking water like a camel. I drink a lot of water. I don't do drugs. I like wine and champagne and things like that, and I have done a lot of mixology and drinking, but I try to keep it to a limit because that keeps you harsh. And then, you know, before my husband, I got a wonderful husband. His late wife passed away, and her mother and everyone in her family said, you have a wonderful husband. He was great, but I left 2 others because you're not going to press me or down me. One was okay, it was just the wrong timing. The other one was awful. And so for me, I always say to women and men, if you have someone in your life that's stressing you, they'll put wrinkles on you. You sometimes we say, okay, Lord, bless our relationship. Okay, you picked him and you asked God to bless it. That's backwards. How about God just wait on God to bless you with someone? So whoever's in your life, if it ain't working right, it's God telling you maybe that's not for you. Quit pushing it. And so being peaceful, not answering the phone to your parents, to anybody who might be stressing you, pressing you. If the devil can pop into them when you're having a good day and all of a sudden you look at your phone and it ruins your whole day, that's stress that goes into you. So my beauty routine is, it's really God. The way that I look is, with everything that I've gone through, I should look like my 94-year-old grandmother. But it's the water, it's not letting people stress you, it's not doing drugs, it is keeping a peaceful aura and daily prayer. I think God is, everyone says there's a light about me. It's God. Because there were times where I looked harsh. I ain't gonna lie. It's times where I looked like, whoa, Lord. You know, but you can, even if you look a certain way, if you're out here like spending all this money on hair and makeup. For me, here's what I do. If I'm on stage, if I'm performing, if I'm winning an award, if I'm going on a date with my man, and going to the grocery store and looking good, y'all gonna see me so regular. You go see me going to Streetwise, Georgia, picking up food for people looking regular and crazy. This is not every day. This is not every day. Molly Wilson, and I'm at 24/7 HH, and I just enjoy my time with y'all.